Okay, it's the end of the day on Thursday, and I put everybody's names on a slip of paper. It's Mariah. Mariah, congratulations. Okay, let's see. Yoga Party House. And Mariah would like to have a painting of a person or people hula hooping in pink, orange, and teal. And the teal is a Honda Civic, 1994 Honda Civic teal. Okay, this is going to be adventure. I've never ever tried to paint anybody hula hooping. So we'll see. We'll see how I do that. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so I'm at my work studio right now and there's nobody here, so I feel like I can video this talking to you thing. I just don't feel comfortable talking to my camera when there are other people here. So anyway, but I'm so happy to be able to explain to you right now what I'm about to do when I paint Mariah's painting. So first thing I needed to do, because I really just couldn't envision like what hula hooping looks and feels like, I just started looking up royalty-free images of people hula hooping, and this is actually somebody took this at a festival right near my house. It's the Solstice Parade during in Fremont, which is a neighborhood near my neighborhood, and so that was really fun to see. But that looking at all of these things, I realized I want to have an image that's got definitely the sense of the hula hoop is sort of near or at somebody's waist. You can get that sort of hula hooping feeling. But I also really wanted something that was kind of diagonal, because whatever the composition is, I wanted it to feel fun. And to me, like, this feels calm and then this feels exciting. And, you know, like, this is the horizon. This is, you know, anything's possible. And then you get a line like this and it's like, woo, you know, wonky, fun, exciting, dynamic. So anyway, I kept looking and I found another royalty-free photo, and I will write the name of the photographer in the comments, in the description, so you can see. So I found a picture of a kid hula hooping, and I love it. I love how her pose, her position has that sort of whoop, whoop kind of, and then we've got that line, and we've got that line, and we've got these lines to kind of like counteract it, and then there's this line. And I have to tell you, I was all ready to just start physically cutting these people up and putting them together, like, oh, I like this, but I like that. Or actually it's more like I like this. I like her arms there, but I like her happiness there, you know. Anyway, I was gonna cut it all up. No, I've done it before. It's very fun, but for this, I think I like the simplicity of, especially since it's a smaller painting, of one person having a ball. And another thing that's really nice is that there's some elements already built into this photo that lend itself to the palette that Mariah wanted, because she wanted pink, orange, and teal, right? So, and not just any teal, she wanted the 94 Honda Civic teal, and I looked it up, and I printed this out. It doesn't really do the color justice. This is too teal because the color is a pearlescent color, and I looked that up, and it's actually called Aztec green. And I have to say, I have been considering, do I use pearlescent paint maybe? I'm leaning towards no, because it might make it more complicated. On the other hand, pearlescent is a fun kind of thing you can add to colors. It's fun, and something that I'm sort of realizing from looking at Yoga Party House's videos is that Mariah is a fun person. And so that's another thing I want to keep in mind is obviously she's requesting a hula hoop situation. Obviously this is a fun person. And so I want to keep this image lighthearted and bold and bright and kind of I'm thinking like, yeah, simple, not complicated, like so that it has a little bit more of a lyrical punch. Yeah, it's hard to put into words. Anyway, so I feel like this young person really does it. And another thing I have to think about painting this photo is she's got a great expression. I love her expression. And a lot of times when I'm doing paintings and figures, I will intentionally make the face be kind of subtle and not a big part of the whole image, because the minute you put a face onto something, it just brings a very, like a certain kind of specificity to the painting that's either useful or not useful depending on what you're trying to do. And I feel like her expression is useful, you know, like you get the sense of what's going on in her mind as she does this a little bit. There's concentration, maybe a little proud of yourself, definitely enjoying yourself. It's kind of a quiet moment, you know, she's not like laughing hysterically or anything. So I think as I start painting, I will have to decide once I'm in it if the mood of the painting is starting to tell us like, oh yeah, we're gonna have this kind of like soft inward hula hooping or celebratory, super fun hula hooping. Since I can't decide in my cerebral little head, really the painting's going to tell me anyway. So even if I did decide ahead of time, oftentimes I'll walk in to paint something and then the painting says, nope, you're not going to do that. You're going to do something else. So all the planning in the world sometimes leads to not even the thing that you planned. But okay, so I am now going to do a couple of sketches and a color study to prepare for painting this painting. I left my ink at home, so I am going to use Daler Rowney pearlescent liquid acrylic ink. So it's basically very concentrated watery acrylic paint. And with this sort of pearlescent idea in mind, I thought it might be fun to just, in the back of my mind, imagine painting with pearlescent paint, because it turns out that I actually do have some already mixed in pearlescent green. Look at that. Oops. This is Daler Rowney, also waterfall green, and this is a pearlescent color. It does kind of remind me of that teal color that Mariah was talking about. And I also happen to have a pink, and then that is pearlescent. And I have an orange that is not pearlescent in this same brand. So it's going to be worth it to at least do a color study of these three to see, I don't know, what happens. We don't know, but we're gonna find out. So anyway, we'll start with a sketch. So I am just gonna I'm gonna launch right into a Notan sketch, which is the thing that I often do to analyze an image to see the lights and darks So now I'm looking at this and wondering, will this be balanced in terms of the darks and lights that are already here? And I would say yes. Like, if you're a photographer, then you're probably thinking, wow, so the background is really lit up and she's not, and she's the main subject. And so that's a, you know, like in photography, I guess that would be like, obviously this was a photograph that wasn't done professionally. This was a beautiful spontaneous moment. But as the painter, I can be like, well, let's just flip that script. And I can decide that, you know, she's not actually going to be as dark in the painting as she is here in relation to her surroundings. But if that's the case, then I need to think about, is this all going to be the same value then? Or should I make the ground a little bit darker than her? This, you know, this concrete? Or can I just let color temperature do my work for me? Like, let these shadows be sort of in the blue teal kind of thing, but maybe like a more subdued blue teal than the actual pool. And then have her hula hoop be a really bright color and her dress a really bright color. Yeah, so that has potential, but to be honest with you, I don't think I need to fully work it out right now. In fact, this is, as I'm talking, I'm realizing, yes, I have completed the thinking for the project. I've done a lot of thinking, and now I need to do some doing. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and do a color study of the three acrylic inks to see what I can make and see what I can do about the fact that these three kind of lighter value colors aren't going to give me any darks whatsoever. Yeah, so that's what we'll do next. Are you feeling like, oh wow, that's so cool. Are you wondering what's gonna happen now? I am. And also, what's your opinion? Do you think I should make this a pearlescent painting? It's feeling kind of tempting, isn't it? I gotta say, for myself, who gets a little too serious sometimes, it would be pretty darn fun to make a pearlescent painting of a hula hooping kid. Just saying. All right, let's see what happens when we mix these two together. Honestly, these are just really attractive counterpoint. I just made up that word, counterpoint. I mean, I don't know if that's an actual color terminology. Wow. Dreamy. Hello, you are dreamy. You are a dreamy color. I love you very much. Okay, that orange is very high in tint strength, isn't it? Okay. A little goes a long way with that orange. Am I right? I mean, you saw what happened over there. I need to learn my lesson. Okay. Pretty. Okay. So what happens if I really go for it with the orange now? Wow, that's awesome. Oh my word. Wow. Okay, well, folks, I think we have a winning combination for Mariah. Honestly, I don't see how I could not make a painting with these, you know? So pretty. Okay, but I also need to think about what if I want dark values. There are some painters who really prioritize color who do not prioritize thinking about darks and lights as much, and they just use the changing colors as a way to describe forms and space. But I love darks and lights and what they can do to a composition. So I'm feeling like what I want to use is some other paint that will serve as my darkening agent, and I do not want it to be black because I think that that will kind of deaden this incredible party of colors that we're doing here. So I'm thinking about which of these colors, orange, teal, and pink, that I have in a different type of paint that goes really dark. And so I'm gonna go over to my paints really quickly and talking to you from over here. Okay, I just looked at my paints and I actually do have a very dark color, and this is called, what's the name of this? Oh, dark green. But it's a very blue green, isn't it? One might even say teal. So I think what I'm gonna do is see what happens if I can shade or make darker some of these colors using this dark green in order to access potential dark shadows. Or even just medium shadows. I think generally this is going to be a pretty light colored painting because this is a light colored feeling. Am I right? This is sunshine, this is joy, this is a young person, this is hula hoops, this is Mariah, this is yoga party house. Yeah, this is shimmering light. So if I need any kind of darkness, it's just going to be a little bit. All right, let's see what happens. So this is wonderful. It is wonderful. I love it. What do you think? Do you love it? This has real potential. Okay. All right, let's do it. I think we're gonna do this. So I forgot to hit record when I did the little sketch here, and I basically used pearlescent white to do my drawing because I knew that the pencil marks would definitely show through this kind of pearlescent translucent paint. And yeah, there's a lot of discovery just putting this together. I discovered that the fence was not going to be a good idea, way too distracting, especially with these delicate colors that were coming out. I realized I couldn't go too dark, even with that dark green, because I didn't want things to read too green. The dappled sunlight in the front looks pretty good, kind of fun. And so I sort of kept that going. But ultimately, I would say this didn't wind up being like the really orange, really pink, really teal palette that I was planning on going for, but this is sort of like what the painting was telling me to do. So, and then I decided not to do the face. It really is, I think it would have pulled focus because it really is about the hula hoop. And wow, I gotta tell you, this pearlescent paint is challenging but fun and shiny. Look at that. And it looks a little different in different angles. Um, so yeah, pretty cool. So now it's time to sign and title and date the back and everything. I put my initials on the front in kind of a subtle way, but here I can just put all the information about the painting. Anyway, thank you for watching this and also for leaving so many fun comments after I did the little 1K announcement video that was for this giveaway. I really would have loved to have painted any one of your suggestions. They were all so totally awesome. And like, I don't know, I just felt a lot of gratitude for, I don't know, starting to get to know so many people with really cool creative minds. And really excited to be on this art journey with you. And yeah, thanks for being here. And I'll see you next time.